Wild boars, a destructive invasive species, are wreaking havoc across the globe from farmlands to fragile ecosystems. Thanks to their fast breeding cycle, females can give birth to up to 12 piglets. Twice a year, they tear through crops, churn up soil, and ruin grasslands, causing billions of dollars in damage annually. In places like the US, Australia, and Turkey, they pose a major threat not just to farmers, but to environmental stability. Managing their numbers has become a pressing priority. Drop comment number 1 and let's tackle this wild chase together. We reached the forest at dawn, pumped to kick off the hunt with our crew. As we pushed through the thick underbrush, I suddenly caught the unmistakable sound of footsteps. No doubt wild boars, I quickly raised my rifle ready to take the shot. Out of nowhere, a whole herd burst through from the other side. I didn't hesitate. I pulled the trigger and one went down instantly. To be sure the area was secure for the team, I fired a second round, safety first. Just a few minutes later, Austin, who was up ahead, spotted another herd. Nearly 10 wild boars came charging through, trying to make a run for it. But with Austin's sharp aim, a few let out painful squeals and dropped. It was a dramatic way to kick things off, but it gave us an impressive early lead. The team pressed on, heading deeper into the forest and checking out hidden spots. Barely 50 meters further, another herd suddenly burst out in front of us. They were quick and crafty, zigzagging all over the place. Still, I didn't miss my moment. I raised my rifle, took aim, and fired. Even with their speed, a few couldn't dodge the bullets and went down fast. Gunfire echoed through the forest, sending the wild boars into a frantic dash. But we'd planned for this, we had an ambush ready. From a concealed spot, my teammate took aim and fired a pinpoint shot. One boar dropped instantly. Seconds later, another hit the ground, quick, clean, and flawless. I broke off and sprinted ahead, locked in on a boar that Alana had spotted trying to make a getaway. At the forest's edge, I caught up. Without a second thought, I raised my rifle and fired with purpose. Caught off guard, the boar didn't stand a chance. It collapsed on the spot. Near the edge of the forest, our hunting dogs, guided by their sharp noses, caught a scent and took off. Their instincts led Alana straight to a wild boar. She quickly got into position, and as it stepped out of the underbrush, she raised her rifle and fired. Perfect shot, Alana nailed it. Just as Austin and I arrived at the forest's edge, another boar burst out of the bushes. Without hesitation, Austin reacted with a clean shot. It dropped immediately. At the same time, John, stationed on the opposite side, spotted another one. He quickly raised his rifle and fired. Incredible. That boar was down in under 10 seconds. Hunting wild boars is a regular activity in our area. We understand it can spark ethical and conservation debates, but given their rapid reproduction and the severe damage they cause, we're compelled to act. Every hunt strictly follows legal regulations. As both a modern farmer and hunter, I'm always searching for the most effective ways to safeguard my fields. Rather than just complaining about wild boars constantly tearing through my corn crops, I take action using hunting as a practical and effective way to manage their numbers. Come along for the ride and see what's waiting just ahead. After a few minutes of quietly scanning the terrain, we spotted a wild boar casually strolling along, completely unaware it was in our sights. The distance wasn't ideal, but I chose to go for a long-range shot. My rifle was ready. I just needed the right moment. Fire! The gunshot rang out. The bullet hit its mark, sending the boar stumbling and tumbling down the slope. The heavy animal struggled to get back up, so I fired again to make sure it couldn't resist or pose any danger. Soon after, the excited barking of our hunting dogs echoed through the forest, signaling action nearby. The sound was coming from a dense thicket up ahead. I moved in carefully, a rifle at the ready. One clean, decisive shot brought the animal down instantly. The pace of the hunt picked up. As we crested another ridge, we came face to face with a herd of massive wild boars. Their sheer size would excite any hunter. We couldn't let the moment pass and opened fire together. Still, the quick-footed boars darted into the underbrush. Only a few unlucky ones were hit, left lying still on the forest floor. We weren't about to give up that easily. Determined to chase down the fleeing boars, we quickly signaled the team to cut off their escape routes. It was a tried-and-true tactic that rarely failed. As soon as the silhouette of a boar came into view, my friend took the shot, dropping the lead animal on the spot. A burst of gunfire followed, sending the herd into chaos. Despite their speed, a few couldn't get away in time. Luck stayed on our side when another group of wild boars suddenly appeared. Without missing a beat, we reloaded and fired relentlessly. But these clever animals were incredibly quick-weaving expertly through the thick underbrush. Before long, they disappeared completely, leaving only the echo of gunfire and a growing sense of frustration. The wild boar population here was massive. They moved in large, fast-moving herds. No matter how hard we tried or how many shots we fired, the number we took down was just a drop in the ocean compared to their huge, ever-expanding numbers. Wild boars aren't originally from Wisconsin. They were brought to the U.S. centuries ago, eventually interbreeding with domestic pigs and thriving in the wild. Climate change and milder winters have helped them survive and expand their range farther north. We hunt them every week in the forest near my farm. I never imagined I'd become a professional boar hunter. But after wild boars caused thousands of dollars in damage to my farm over the past 2 years, I grabbed a rifle not for sport but to protect my land. From afar, we watched the wild boars shifting between thickets. When one paused, we seized the moment. I fired without hesitation. Moments later, we spotted another boar. Maybe sensing something was wrong, it stopped to listen, unaware it was about to face its last moment. I have to admit, wild boars are incredibly smart and alert. They can sense danger and take off in a flash. To take them down, we had to be patient and wait for the perfect moment. Boars are fast runners, so we had to make every shot count. The hunting area is huge, and we spent most of our time moving around to find where the boars were most active. My friend Hanner, a Belgian-American, shared some hunting tips with me. He said they usually stick to the same trails each day to forage. That's where we can set up an ambush. Sure enough, right on those trails, we spotted plenty of boars passing by. While gathering our trophies, we came across an enormous wild boar. From a distance, we thought it was a black bear because of its massive, stocky build. We were excited to have taken down such a giant. By late afternoon, we set bait traps along the farm's forest edge, using food to draw the boars in. We lay in wait nearby. The bait worked, attracting a herd of boars to feed. We focused on the biggest ones. My team and I fired together, taking down the fattest boar. Another unsuspecting boar fell to a single shot. As the sky started to darken, we decided to go for one last hunt. Luckily, a herd of wild boars showed up. They were so focused on feeding that they didn't notice us at all. That moment of carelessness cost one of them its life. By late afternoon, the hunt was over. We gathered the boars and headed to the rendezvous point. We'll be hunting in this area for the next few days since the boar population here is so large. Have you ever been on a wild boar hunt? If yes, drop a comment with the number 2, if not type 5. Mugla province in southwestern Turkey is famous for its breathtaking beaches and rugged mountain scenery. But beneath this natural beauty lies a growing, hard-to-control problem: the rapid rise of the wild boar population. Local officials report that over 300 hectares of crops were destroyed just last year, leaving hundreds of farmers struggling. To make matters worse, pork isn't widely eaten in Turkey, so wild boars have multiplied without much check. This challenge has motivated many hunting groups, including ours, to step up and take action to help manage the threat. As soon as we arrived in the mountainous region west of Dhaka, a known wild boar hotspot, we took our positions. We didn't have to wait long. Within minutes, we spotted a boar charging at full speed. Without hesitation, we gave chase and opened fire, bagging our first trophy of the day. To our surprise, it wasn't alone. Several others were close by. The air was filled with the barking of dogs and the squeals of boars, creating a tense electric atmosphere. We pushed forward in waves, taking down a few on the spot. What shocked me most was their size, massive, muscular beasts that looked like monsters lurking in the forest. After leaving the forest, we moved up to a low hill that offered a clear vantage point perfect for spotting targets. From there, I locked eyes on a massive lead boar running away. Holding my breath, I took a clean shot and dropped it with a single bullet. The team then shifted their focus to the other boars nearby, aiming to take down a few more. Following a trail through the thickets, I quietly prepared myself. Suddenly, a wild boar appeared from the brush. Staying calm, I focused carefully and took my chance. The animal stopped immediately. While keeping watch for others, a whole herd showed up, their fur standing on end, as if they sensed something was wrong. They quickly moved through the underbrush. After watching them for a moment, I noticed one return briefly. Taking the opportunity, I acted swiftly and the animal paused once again. We kept up the pursuit and managed to stop a few more. What surprised us was just how many wild boars were still out there. Then suddenly a lone boar tried to make a run for it, charging down the mountainside. But I spotted it in time and quickly took action to stop its escape.
Evet.
The farther we went, the more signs of wild boars we found. Following the tracks, we reached a dense thicket. I focused carefully, aiming for the best chance to succeed. A sharp sound broke the silence and the boar stopped immediately. On our way back, we unexpectedly came across a few stray boars, quick and alert. I took my time tracking them quietly and waiting for the perfect moment. With skill and patience, we managed to stop another ending, a day full of unexpected encounters. Wild boars can reproduce all year long with litters ranging from 6 to 12 piglets. If their numbers aren't controlled, they'll keep damaging crops and putting people's livelihoods at risk. Today we may have taken down quite a few, but in the bigger picture, this is just a small part of the ongoing fight against these smart and challenging animals. Wild boars are a real headache for farmers. They root through the soil looking for food-wrecking pastures and crops. Even more concerning, these invasive animals reproduce quickly. Each female can have up to 12 piglets per litter twice a year. Local authorities have tried everything: traps, fences, even chemicals, but the boar numbers just keep rising. That's why our team headed out today, not just for the thrill of the hunt, but to protect the fields being destroyed by these boars every day. This morning, under a gentle sun, we started our hunt in a small forest behind the neighbor's house. Once we arrived, the team quickly readied their rifles, took positions, and waited for the hunting dog's signal. After a short wait, their barking broke the silence. A wild boar, driven by the dogs, burst out of the forest, charging straight toward us. Seizing the moment, I tracked the boar with my rifle and fired. The first 2 shots grazed its back, causing it to stumble, but the third hit perfectly, bringing it down. That was our first trophy of the day. After scouting the area, we realized this forest was small and didn't hold many wild boars. The team decided to move on to a different spot. The dogs, still full of energy, ran ahead to track prey. Thanks to them, as soon as we left the forest, we came across the next boar near a small stream trying to make a getaway. I calmly raised my rifle and fired. One precise shot brought it down instantly. Across the stream, a gently sloping hill was covered in dense waist-high thickets, perfect cover for wild boars. But from our vantage point, with eyes sharp for any movement, I was ready to spot a boar the instant it moved. Sure enough, before long, a dark shape slipped through the bushes. Several shots rang out in quick succession. One hit, but it wasn't fatal. The startled boar spun around and ran a few meters the other way before tumbling down the hill. After spending over an hour there, the team decided to head to another forest where wild boar herds often show up. As soon as we arrived, the dogs picked up the scent of a group hiding behind dense thickets. I fired a few shots to flush them out. The whole herd took off in a panic, their calls echoing through the forest. Then I spotted one boar still hiding under a tree. Not missing my chance, I aimed and fired, successfully taking down the target. The team pushed deeper into the forest, searching for a new prey. Less than half an hour later, a large boar appeared. We kept hunting until late afternoon, then paused on a trail leading out of the forest, waiting for the last targets before wrapping up. Suddenly, a wild boar charged across the path, kicking up a cloud of dust. Acting on instinct, I raised my rifle and aimed carefully. Moments later, another boar darted out, becoming the next target. One precise shot brought it down instantly. After that success, we changed tactics, splitting into smaller groups and taking up strategic positions. From my spot with Paul, a herd of boars suddenly appeared. They moved so fast, up to 40 km/h, that we had to shoot right away. Despite the rush, our shots still brought down a few. Even experienced hunters like us miss sometimes. It's just part of the game. At the other positions, my teammates also had success taking down a few more targets. The boars, with their bristly black coats, scattered in panic at the sound of gunfire. But even in the chaos, many couldn't escape the skilled hunters. I moved to join the team for a coordinated ambush. Suddenly, a scene unfolded below. A boar was being fiercely chased by the dogs. Despite its efforts to escape, it charged up the hillside. With no time to waste, I aimed and fired. 2 shots rang out and the final boar went down.
Hallettik.
Even after countless hunts, I'm still amazed by the wild boar's endurance and sharp survival instincts. Just as we caught our breath, another target appeared, and we had to raise our rifles again. This lone boar sprinted at incredible speed, disappearing into the bushes and leaving only a cloud of dust behind our missed shots. But to make up for the one that got away, another boar suddenly showed up. This time I stayed calm, took careful aim, and waited for the perfect moment. One precise shot brought it down instantly. The next 10 minutes passed in silence until a dark shadow suddenly darted by. Knowing I couldn't miss, I fired, but the shot went wide and the target disappeared into the dense thicket. Though tired, we kept searching patiently for more prey. Finally, another boar appeared. Determined to make up for the miss, I took a confident shot, ending the hunt with a clear and satisfying victory. We knew there were more wild boars nearby, so the team kept searching. Suddenly, under the relentless chase of the hunting dogs, a massive boar burst from the thicket, catching everyone off guard. This was no ordinary prey. It was strong, fast, and incredibly agile. Gunfire erupted, and after an intense chase, it finally went down in the forest, marking the end of a thrilling encounter. Thanks for watching all the way through. Please show your support with a like and a follow. See you in the next video. Welcome to today's video. We're diving into the world of moose hunting, the majestic and challenging big game of North America that draws over 50,000 hunters each year. Let's explore the unique regional differences where these giants roam, especially in northern Canada's Yukon, which holds 75% of Canada's moose population, around 700,000 strong, with some weighing up to 1 to 600 pounds. Drop a comment with the number 1 to join us on this moose hunting adventure. The massive size and feeding habits of moose cause serious problems destroying farmers' crops and leading to dangerous traffic collisions. This issue affects both northern and southern Canada, though in different ways depending on the environment and moose population density. In the north, where moose are plentiful, they often wander into farming areas causing significant damage. Meanwhile, southern Canada, despite having fewer moose, still sees a high number of serious traffic accidents involving these animals. Moose hunting in northern Canada is a time-honored and iconic tradition, especially in provinces like British Columbia and Yukon. Every year, British Columbia issues over 2,500 moose hunting permits, with hunters enjoying a success rate of around 85%. Yukon takes the lead in moose hunting with roughly 7,000 moose harvested each year. The hunting season runs from September to November, coinciding with moose mating season when they're easier to spot. Because of this, hunters need patience and skill to be successful. To take down these large animals, hunters typically use powerful weapons like large caliber rifles, which are used in about 65% of hunts. These rifles not only ensure effective hunting, but also help maintain safety throughout the process.
Hold on, just stay ready, because he might get up.
Moose thrive only in cold, marshy areas with harsh climates and distinctive landscapes. Yukon offers an ideal habitat thanks to its natural conditions. In contrast, southern Canada's warmer climate and wide-open plains don't provide a suitable environment for moose. As a result, the species is rarely seen there, where high temperatures and a lack of wetlands make survival difficult. Each year, around 50,000 moose hunters take part in hunts across Canada, with 85% of them concentrated in the northern regions where moose populations are denser. According to 2020 statistics, Yukon accounted for about 70% of the moose harvested nationwide. This not only highlights Yukon's key role in managing moose populations, but also reflects how abundant the species is in that area. When hunting moose, hunters begin by scouting the area for signs like tracks droppings or broken branches. The best times to hunt are early morning or late afternoon, when moose usually feed near water sources. Hunters use binoculars to watch from a distance, avoiding sudden movements to keep from spooking their prey and to ensure a successful approach.
I hit him.
Yep.
Holy mackerel, look at the size of that body.
Once a moose is spotted, the shot requires intense focus and expert skill. Hunters aim for vital areas like the head or chest to ensure an accurate and effective shot while minimizing unnecessary suffering. A precise shot not only improves the chances of success, but also shows respect for the animal and the surrounding environment.
Oh yeah.
Although moose aren't found in southern Canada, many residents are fascinated by the species through popular wildlife TV shows. These widely aired programs showcase moose hunting, captivating southern audiences and letting them experience the excitement and challenge of the hunt without actually taking part. Do you enjoy hunting moose with a rifle? If so, leave a comment with the number 2, if not, leave a 5. If the shot is successful, tracking the moose is essential to confirm it is fully down and can be safely harvested. This step requires skill and also shows the hunter's responsibility in managing moose populations to help maintain ecological balance in the area.
Look at this. Oh, that's beautiful.
Moose hunting isn't just a sport. It must follow strict conservation rules to prevent overhunting, which could cause a serious drop in wild moose populations.
Oh man. Careful.
Moose meat can weigh between 450 and 650 pounds per animal, and according to 2021 reports, 85% of Canadian hunters pursue moose for food, making it a valuable resource that can sustain a family through the winter. However, the biggest challenge for hunters is transporting the massive moose carcass through harsh conditions, adding significant difficulty to every hunt. The effort needed to move the animal from the hunting site to the processing area is a key factor in every hunter's strategy. Moose hunting is more than just a sport. It's a vital responsibility to help manage the population, preventing crop damage and reducing traffic accidents while supporting biodiversity. Hunters must follow regulations, carefully use the right skills and equipment to minimize harm and prioritize safety. Thoughtful scouting, patient observation, and respectful handling of the animal after the hunt all show reverence for nature. Thanks for watching the video until the end. Please support us by liking and following. Goodbye and see you in the next videos. On a spring morning in April 2025, the Masai Mara Savannah witnessed a rare but intense event. A herd of about 8 aggressive rhinos suddenly invaded a nearby residential area. Local authorities reported that within just 40 minutes, these massive animals, each weighing over 5,000 pounds, completely destroyed at least 4 homes. The herd then charged onto the main road, triggering multiple serious traffic accidents and bringing the area to a standstill. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. Drop a comment with the number 1 if you want to learn more about rhinos. The phenomenon of rhinos crossing roads in Kenya has caused major disruptions to local traffic. Vehicles ranging from trucks to tourist buses are often stuck for hours when these massive animals block the roads. Concerns over safety have led many international tourists to cancel their travel plans, dealing a serious blow to the tourism industry. Estimates show that in 2025, the region's tourism sector declined by 12%, resulting in economic losses of around $200 million and affecting thousands of local workers. The African rhino population is currently estimated at around 18,000 to 20,000 white rhinos and 5,000 to 6,000 black rhinos. In terms of diet, rhinos mainly feed on grass leaves, young branches, and other vegetation. Depending on the species and environmental conditions, an adult rhino can consume between 60 and 120 kilograms of vegetation per day. However, if the rhino population grows too quickly without proper control, it could place significant pressure on natural food sources, potentially disrupting the balance of other species in the savanna ecosystem. Recognizing the dangers posed by rhinos, especially when they wander into densely populated areas, the Kenyan government has introduced a strictly regulated hunting policy. This measure is designed to help control the rhino population, reduce human-wildlife conflicts, and protect local communities from serious property damage and threats to their livelihoods.
And it's a perfect shot in the shoulder.
The best time to hunt rhinos in Kenya is during the dry season from June to October 2025. During this period, vegetation is thinner and rhinos often gather near rivers and lakes to drink. The dry weather and clear visibility make it easier for hunters to observe and track rhino movements across the wide savanna landscape.
Osaka.
Yes, yeah.
Stop. Yeah, always.
Have you ever wondered what it takes to legally hunt rhinos in Kenya? Each year, strict hunting policies attract around 150 to 250 hunters from around the world, eager to take on the challenge of pursuing these African giants. However, participating in legal rhino hunting requires meeting a long list of strict qualifications. Do you think using a rifle is an effective way to hunt rhinos? If yes, leave a comment with the number 2. If not, leave a 5. To hunt legally, all hunters must obtain a professional hunting license. This applies to both local and international participants. In addition, foreign hunters are required to secure a CITES permit to comply with international wildlife trade regulations. Kenya typically issues between 100 and 150 rhino hunting permits each year, a number carefully set by wildlife authorities to ensure sustainability. For effectiveness, hunters rely on large caliber rifles such as the .375 H&H Magnum 416 Rigby or 458 Lot, which deliver the power necessary to humanely take down a rhino. Hunters typically form small groups of 2 to 3 people to maintain coordination and ensure safety during the hunt. When a rhino is spotted, they carefully assess the situation, staying between 40 and 100 feet away, depending on the terrain and the animal's behavior. To avoid detection, they move quietly against the wind, using trees, bushes, or large rocks as cover to approach without alarming the rhino. Strict compliance with hunting regulations is essential in Kenya. Violations can result in serious consequences, including the loss of hunting licenses, confiscation of gear, and fines of up to $25,000. These strict measures are in place to protect both hunters and wildlife, promoting sustainable hunting practices that safeguard the region's rhino population. During rhino hunting expeditions, teams typically consist of 3 to 5 hunters to improve safety and ensure mutual support. Hunting alone is highly dangerous, especially when dealing with massive rhinos that can weigh up to 6,000 pounds. To humanely bring down a rhino, hunters often need to fire 2 to 3 carefully placed shots, aiming for vital areas to prevent unnecessary suffering. To save time navigating vast hunting grounds, hunters often rely on specialized off-road vehicles. These vehicles allow quick access to prey and are essential for transporting a rhino carcass to a designated collection point after the hunt. Hunting is strictly prohibited in well-known conservation areas such as Masai Mara National Park and Amboseli National Reserve, where rhinos are heavily protected. As a result, hunters must stay informed about approved hunting zones at all times.
Good.
When hunters spot a rhino, they keep a safe and effective distance, usually between 25 and 120 yards, depending on the terrain and the animal's behavior. From this range, they aim carefully at the heart-lung area to ensure a quick and humane takedown. If the first shot doesn't succeed, hunters will take follow-up shots to make sure the animal is downed before moving on to post-hunt procedures.
Good.
After a successful hunt, hunters are required to submit a detailed report to Kenya's Environmental Management Authority. This report includes information such as the hunting location, number of rhinos taken, the animal's age and sex, and the permit number used. These reports help the government monitor and manage rhino populations, ensuring that hunting activities do not cause long-term harm to the species. Therefore, it's essential to develop sustainable solutions to manage human-wildlife conflicts. Beyond regulated hunting efforts like relocating rhinos to protected conservation areas and installing secure fencing can help minimize property damage and keep communities safe. At the same time, raising awareness and promoting international cooperation in conservation are key to protecting rhino populations, preserving ecological balance, and supporting the tourism industry. These actions offer long-term benefits for both people and nature,